Cockatiels are amazing birds, and today I'm going to tell you 5 reasons why I love them. Reason number 1 why I love cockatiels is because they're really underrated. In the past, it's been fairly typical for people to kind of keep them in a tiny cage with like a bell and a mirror, and then they feed them seed and they just kind of sit there as a decoration. But they are so much more than that. And when you actually get to spend your life with one, you really see their personality shine through. They aren't just a boring bird that sits in the cage or an aviary bird that has no potential. They are absolutely incredible, and each one has their own individual personality. Some can be quite quirky, some can be a bit more docile and reserved, and some can be absolutely crazy, but they are all absolutely incredible. Reason number 2 why I love cockatiels is because they're really intelligent. It really makes me cross when I see people online, even other trainers, say that cockatiels are dumb and they're not smart and you can't teach them anything. It is not true. They are incredibly intelligent when you put your skills as a trainer to the test and you listen to their body language, you make sure you're using the right reinforcement in the right way, and you just give them time and patience to learn. Our guys can tidy up, spin, recall, A to B, station. You know, there's all kinds of things you can train them. Waving, high five. Tootin does not stop talking apart from when I'm filming. He's always speaking because he's learnt loads of words. They can sing. Of course, not every cockatiel is going to learn to sing and speak, and that's not a reason to get one. However, they do have a lot of potential to learn how to do different things. All you need to do is sharpen up your training skills and give them the time and patience and consistency to actually learn how to do these really cool things. Reason number 3 why I love cockatiels is because, let's be honest, look at them. They're absolutely stunning. They are beautiful birds. There are a lot of different colour mutations. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest. I think they're all absolutely beautiful. We've got Fish and Cole, who are our grey males. We've got Tootin, who is pied, not a Lutino like you might think, because he has a secret hidden patch of grey feathers under his wing there. But there are loads of beautiful colour mutations out there, and of course the stunning thing about the majority of cockatiels is their yellow face and their huge orange cheeks. Tootin has the biggest orange cheeks on any cockatiel I think I've ever seen. I love managing to find all the little cheek feathers when they molt them out, and I have a little vial that I've kept them all in because they are just so precious. And of course there are some cockatiels who don't have the cheek patches with different mutations. They're gorgeous too, but they are very beautiful birds to look at. But of course it's not just about looking at them, it's about interacting with them, and they have the most incredible personalities as well. Now, if you happen to share your life with one of your cockatiels or any other bird, you're going to need to get your parrot supplies. And of course, we are recommending our friends at Northern Parrots, who are the sponsors of today's video. They have loads of amazing things on their websites, from perches to cages, food, and of course tons and tons of toys. We're always on there. The amount of orders I've done from them is quite shocking, to be honest. I'm not going to tell me how many, but I've spent a lot of money on there because they have such an amazing variety of toys, and they're always adding new stock as well. So there's always something new coming out that you can try with them. There's loads of natural toys on there, loads of good stuff. And of course, because our birds have sampled quite a few things from Northern Parrots, you may see quite a few pictures of our birds on there as well, because they do like to be professional models, should we say. No autographs, no pictures. But yeah, you will see our birds on there as well, because they do like to try out lots of products too. But we do highly recommend heading over to Northern Parrots if you have a bird of your own, because there are loads of goodies that you can treat them to. And of course, if you sign up for their newsletter, you can get 10% off your first order, and we all love a bargain. So make sure you head over to Northern Parrots, and again, massive thank you to Northern Parrots for sponsoring today's video. Point number 4 why I love cockatiels is they generally have the potential to be quite cute and cuddly. Now, of course, not every cockatiel is going to want constant cuddles and scritches and stuff, and some may take a really long time to feel safe enough to trust you to do it, or for you to do it in the right way. But given enough time, enough patience, enough respect for their body language, allowing them to say no and to back away and not to force interactions, they may surprise you one day by waddling up to you and just bowing their head and asking for scritches. Now, they can be a bit fussy sometimes, especially if they're molting. They'll be like, don't touch me, but also touch me and pet me, but don't pet me, which is quite silly. However, they can be very, very soft. And again, some birds may not like to have full-on scritches, which is okay. They might just enjoy sitting on your shoulder or on your head like Tootin is, and just relaxing with you. And that shows that they do trust you and they do feel nice and safe. All three of our boys do enjoy scritches. Cole prefers them more from me, Fish prefers them more from David, and Tootin also prefers them more from David. However, Tootin is a cuddle monster. He will go up to David and he will like headbutt him on the hand, like cuddle me now, and he cannot get enough, especially cuddling those little orange cheek patches, which is very, very cute to see. Again, not every cockatiel is going to behave the same, but if you keep putting in that time to bond with your bird, they may surprise you one day with wanting to have some scritches. And point number 5, why I love cockatiels, and again, this doesn't apply to every cockatiel, and it doesn't apply to 24 hours a day. However, as you guys probably know, we have a lot of green cheeks and we have crimson belly conures as well. But compared to the conures, the cockatiels tend to be mostly a bit calmer, a bit more docile, and a bit more relaxed. Now, of course, they're still a prey species. They're going to be flighty if something scares them. However, the cockatiel life compared to the conure life are two totally different experiences. The conures are just absolutely bonkers. They're on the go all day long, never a dull moment. They're just absolutely crazy unless they're having a nap. The cockatiels, however, just usually like things a little bit more slow paced. Yeah, they do. It's a bit more relaxed, a bit calmer. They're not quite as erratic as birds like conures in my experience. However, of course, they're going to have the zoomies. They're going to have times where they get spooked. They're going to have those mad 5 minutes where they're flying around the room. They're going to be silly sometimes. Sometimes they might be grumpy, especially if they're molting like our guys are at the moment. They might be a little bit sassy. However, in comparison to some other parrot species, they can be, on average, a bit more calmer, a bit more docile, and a bit more chilled out in general. Can you hear Tootin's beak grinding on top of my head? So cute. If you happen to be lucky enough to share your life with a cockatiel, let me know why you love them down in the comments. But from me and the cheeky boys, thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.